Welcome back to Strike Fighters 2, continuing our government-paid vacation to the tropics. Following our pilot Curtis Bradley of the 334th Tactical Fighter Squadron, the Eagles, based out of Hawkeye Airbase here in Thailand. Today's date is September 20th, 1965, and we have another strike mission planned for today. Today we're headed out towards Dong Hoi and Route Pac 1, pretty far south in North Vietnam. We are to knock out the enemy road bridge over the Gian River. Call sign is Hammer. We'll be taking 4 F-105s. Take off at 1:30 in the afternoon. We should be over the target by 2 o'clock. Heading almost due east today as we head out over Thailand and Laos into North Vietnam. We'll be attacking from the northwest, coming down low over this mountain range, hitting the initial point, and then turning down to the southeast, looking for the target, and then we'll do the pop-up bombing up and over the top, and then back around, disengaging to the southwest. Okay, loadout for today. Our primary armament is going to be 2 M118s, which are 3,000-pound bombs, one of the standard loadouts for the F-105s during the war, and I think a loadout that we have seen before now here in the game. But secondary weapons today, I'm loading 2 AIM-9 Bravo Sidewinders on the outer rails, because I've had enough of being harassed by the MiGs. We've taken some losses to them recently, and they've just been hounding us on every mission, and I'm tired of it. So today, we're going to pack a little punch to fight back with. So 2 Sidewinders on the outer rails. Later in the war, we would maybe have the QRC pods, the ECM pods out there, or even an asymmetric load. 1 ECM and 1 Sidewinder, I think, was fairly common to be seen as well. But those have not been introduced yet. So a symmetric Sidewinder load today. And of course, centerline drop tank, 650 gallons. Total takeoff weight, 49,160 pounds.
Hammer 1, leaving my airspace. Contact, Red Crown. 1, 3's airborne. Departure, Dallas, lead, light airborne.
Alright, wing leveler is coming off. We're 48 miles out from the initial point, so I'm going to bring the power back, and we're going to begin our descent into the low-level attack portion of the flight profile.
Red Crown, platform lead, approaching our rendezvous point.
Red Crown, copy that.
Looks like Rambler flight is out behind us to the left, and Dallas flight out to the right. Here's Rambler 1. It's an F-4 Phantom from VF-92, the Silver Kings, which of course is the squadron that Navy pilot Devin Horner will be a part of in a couple of years.
Hammer 1, Red Crown, bandit, left 11 o'clock.
And we got bandits at 11 o'clock, 25 miles out, so good thing we're getting down. Guys are still with me. We're going to get right down to the mountaintops and hopefully avoid these MiGs, but after we drop the bombs, you know, potential targets for these Sidewinders maybe. Although I don't want to get too optimistic because the Thud it's just not a dogfighting aircraft. Especially against the nimble MiGs. We'll need a high degree of luck if we're actually going to hit anything, but I'm going to try. Alright, 4,000 feet now. We're just above the tops of these mountains. And I'm going to accelerate up to 525 knots for the ride in. Checking on the radar there, we actually are getting a return off to the left out there at 11 o'clock-ish. Must be just over the tops of those mountains. There's 500 knots. $20 miles from the initial point, which is also off to our left, right towards where those MiGs are. So, yeah, I'm just going to weave between these mountaintops here, bank right, and then a quick left, and I think zoom out between these peaks here. Let's get everyone close in.
2, roger that. 3,
Yeah, snuggle right up with me, fellas. Let's keep it nice and tight and fast, no stragglers. And keep your eyes peeled for MiGs. Initial point right over there, essentially on the other side of this ridge. I have the bombs selected. We've got the switches set. We've got ripple and release times all set ahead of time. And here we go, right over the top of this ridge. Look at this, the valley just, I guess not really the valley, but the plains out to the coast is sort of spreading out in front of us here. There we go. I'm at full military power at the moment. There's about 510. We'll have to watch the speed as we're coming down in the dive here, but setting radar range nice and short. There's the Hohensohn Mountain out to our right. A common sight back from the early Navy campaign days, flying the Sky Raiders. We were over that almost every day. Oh, look at that. Some sort of, like, POL tank farm tucked out in the jungle, and then a large army base out beyond it. And there's another base over there, but there's our river, the Yang River, and our target is spanning that. So we should be hitting our initial point any second now. Yeah, less than 1 mile. Now we're in it to win it. Booyah! On to waypoint 5. We'll bank over, keeping the speed up. Although we're basically at our max at the moment. But we are doing Mach 0.8. Zooming over the top of some small towns and villages down below. But here we are rolling out on target. 14 miles out from the bridge. There's the Guyane River. Some sort of settlement on the north side just popping into view there. That's probably right where the bridge is crossing the river. "12 miles now. Just a few miles out, we'll begin our zoom climb full power and then twist up and over the top. There's the bridge. Okay, I can see it. I have positive ID on the target. Probably going to be a shit ton of AAA defenses around it. Let's spread the formation back out. Oh, we got VK1, we got MiGs directly above us. I heard them. There they go. At least 2. That might just be the low pair of the high-low pair, so there might be 2 more up there, but no matter now. 5 miles out, full afterburner, pulling up into the vertical for the zoom climb. MiGs off to our right. Somebody is engaging them. I think those are the F4s. I think it's Rambler. Silver Kings. F4s. There's 3 miles out. Up over 10,000 feet. And we'll tell Hammer Flight to attack the target. Go, go, go. And there's 14,000 feet as we're rolling out over the top. Looking at the top of the canopy. There's our target. Roll, tuck back under, let the speed come up to 450, we'll pop the brakes. Ooh, and we're a little beyond the vertical there. Almost straight down now, coming up on 6,000, begin pulling out, bombs are away. Picking up fire as we come up. Oh, and it was a direct hit! Yes, look at that, we dropped 2 spans it looks like, right in the middle of that bridge on the far side. Now everybody knows we're here. Flak everywhere. Got some tracers zooming by. I'm switching over to air-to-air mode on the radar because those MiGs were just here a minute ago. Centerline tank is gone. We can maneuver a little bit better now. There we go, and I got a bad guy 1 o'clock at 5 miles as I'm plowing through this flak. Oh, we got all sorts of returns out in front of us. Hammerflight still dropping bombs on targets behind me, either on the bridge itself or around the bridge. That's good. Smoke rising up from that town. Where'd that guy go? 2 o'clock, 6 miles, so way out to our right,
Right 2 o'clock.
right over the
6
Honestone Mountain
miles.
here.
Angel 5, heading north.
We're looking where to go.
Confirming it's going down.
All right, Hammer, flight, get back on my wing.
Welcome. I'm rejoicing. Bombs away. Fox 1.
Hammer 1, Red Crown.
Back out to my left
11
now.
o'clock, 5 miles. Angel 10,
All right,
heading
let's
northwest.
give this a try. Sidewinders are queued up.
We're under attack. We need assistance.
I've got visual on the bogey.
Red Crown. Copy that.
Something low and off to my left as well. What is that? Looks like an F4. So I think that's a friendly. Oh, there he is.
Fox 2.
If he continues to go fairly straight, we'll have a good chance to get a good shot. Maybe if he's gonna chase that Phantom, that's gonna help us out. Just pulling tight. Vapor coming off the wingtips. Trying to stay low and underneath them. Oh, perfect. Come on. Just keep doing your thing. Nothing to see here. We got 2 bandits out in front of us here, crisscrossing. Is that another MiG, or is that... That sort of looks like a closer MiG there that just ducked down in front of us. Ah, shit, now I've lost the first guy.
Firing gun.
Alright, well, switching targets now because I lost the first guy. Took my eyes off of him to look at this other MiG. Now I don't know where he went. Flak out in front of us. More friendlies probably in the area. Here we go, here we go. Now I've got the altitude advantage on this guy, so that'll help us speed right up. Now, we do have to avoid firing the Sidewinders down at the ground because ground clutter will mess them up. Even though they're infrared, their heat-seeking heads were so bad, they would pick up all sorts of strange interference from ground, clouds, the sun.
Red Crown. Dark Fleet. Advancing waypoint.
I'm just diving down underneath this guy. Come on, come on.
Copy.
Fox 1. Red Crown.
Oh shit, another guy coming in back from the left again. Maybe the first MiG that I was on. He pulls right in front of me.
Red Crown. Go for it.
Retargeting.
Advancing waypoint.
There we go, I've got tone.
Red Crown. Copy.
Fox 2.
No G's on the aircraft. Fox 2. And it went wild, of course. And there's the second Sidewinder away, complete duds. Switching to 20mm. We're going to close in and try to gun this guy down. I think we can do it. Oh yeah, come on. Yes! Yeah! No air-to-air gun sight, just having a bore sight it for a deflection shot. And we have our first air-to-air victory in the F-105. Maybe our only one. That's an F-105. One of my guys. Oh boy! Oh, right over a flak nest. That was bad. Okay. Pitch up 30 and we're gonna grab some altitude. Because, very successful mission. It's time to egress. Let's get the hell out of here before we lose more wingmen. All right, back up at altitude now. We're just going to head home. That's going to wrap it up for this mission. Very successful overall. We got our bridge. Pinpoint hit today, right in the pickle barrel with those giant 3,000 pounders. But man, they did the job. And I bagged myself a MiG. The missiles are garbage, of course, but we got a good old-fashioned gun kill, which is, you know, what I like anyways. So, awesome. We're going to call this one good. Two days later now, September 22nd, 1965. It's 9:53 in the morning. Today we're suppressing air defense threats, which is always a dicey mission, but we're heading up to the Yankee electric power plant, which is way up in Route Pack 5, right along the Red River, fairly close to the city of Yanbai, future site of Yanbai Airport. Although we do see it here in the game, it would not be constructed yet in real life.
Chevy 1, tower, wind 270, at 15, cleared for takeoff, contact departure.
I've got a mix of weapons here in Chevy flight today. I'm equipped with LAU-3 rocket pods and AN M47 white phosphorus bombs on a multiple ejector rack on the inboards, and centerline 650-gallon drop tank. Chevy 2, though, is our napalm truck today. He's outfitted with 2 BLU-1 napalms on the outer racks, or on the outer pylons, and on the inner pylons, multiple ejector racks with BLU-10Bs, napalm firebombs of 250 pounds apiece. So we've got the bomb loads. Chevy 3 and 4 are going to be the rocket ships, so they're loaded with LAU-3 rocket pods and LAU-32 rocket pods on the inboard. So all rockets, all the time. Classic rock, golden oldies, 102.9 Hartford, Big D 103. Alright, we've just let down out of our cruise altitude, down underneath the ceiling. Overcast day today, but we're down underneath it, back down near the mountaintops. We just came down out of 23,000 feet. We're limited to 550 knots today, so a little bit faster.
Red Crown, Buick, please, passing waypoint 5.
Buick 1, Red Crown. Copy.
We're coming up into North Vietnam from Laos. We've probably just crossed over the border not too long ago. Now we're in this big mountain range that's sort of on the border between the two countries, 10 miles out from the initial point. Centerline drop tank is empty. Let's kick it into high gear. There's full afterburner. Tanks away. Let's clean it up for the high-speed run.
Approaching target 5 minutes out.
Gunslinger 1, Red Crown. Copy.
Red Crown, Tuna lead, 5 minutes to our target.
Tuna 1, Red Crown. Copy.
2, roger that. Box 1. We business.
Man, heavy combat already in the area out in front of us. Not a great sign. We're going to have to be extra vigilant for MiGs. Ooh, and there's the Red River just peeking through the mountain peaks.
Firing gun.
Bank left here. Let's bring it right through the valley. Our initial point less than 5 miles away, right over here. And the electric plant is going to be upriver, off to our left. Chevy flight still with me. There we go. There's waypoint 4. I'm also rushing, just redlining it right at 550 because I want to make sure we get there before whatever the strike flight is, so that we can take care of the AAA defenses before they get there, or at least the same time. I don't want to show up afterwards.
Box 2. I'm with you, sir.
Yanbai, like I said, the airfield, which wouldn't actually be here yet, but of course the city would. And now coming around this peak, the electric plant should be right ahead of us in the bend in the river. And there it is. I can see the high tension towers already. So wing leveler is off as we begin our attack run. Let's keep our eyes peeled for guns. We're about to wake them up and get their attention real quick. Ding dong. Hey, there we go, right there. Directly ahead of us. First cluster of white phosphorus is away, and it's an impact. I don't know what the effects are, but as we pull up and away, let's tell Chevy to engage ground. Break, break, break. Engage targets. Anything you find. Let's go. Woo! And now we're picking up some flak as we're up over the top. Keep them guessing here, the gunners, I mean. And we've got a few people locked on to me. Looks like a double emplacement here. As we're coming around. Oh, impacts out to the right. Oh, that's the strike flight. Oh, right into the center. Oh, boy. Bombs away. Now that's pod racing. Jesus Christ. In between the tracers, and I've got a huge white phosphorus explosion in the background. We'll swing back around and see if we had an effect, but we were definitely keeping them busy as the strike flight came through. Oh no, still in operation. He's still firing. But it looks like the strike into the electrical plant was right on the money. Alright, let's check this first emplacement. I know the second one's still firing at me. Did I hit this first guy on the first pass? I think I did. Okay, so... Yikes. ZSU-57. Let's get 2 on that while he's distracted. Let's try to be a team here. Let's work together. I'll keep him distracted and you come in and get him. Whew, and of course, constant flak. But I'm less worried about the flak than the actual tracers. Oh no, that first emplacement is online. He's firing again, so I actually missed both of them with the white phosphorus. Come on, 2, where are you? Veet, Veet. Here he comes, here he comes. Let's keep these guys' attention locked right on me. We'll give 2 a chance. Give him some elbow room to get in here and work. Wow! Flak popping just outside the canopy. We'll give these guys a little air show pass. Keep them busy, keep them busy. Oh, there we go. Well short of the target. So that was not great. Alright, so I guess I'm back in. I've still got rockets left. Oh, I actually have white phosphorus left as well, but let's switch over to rockets. I want to do rocket pass on this emplacement. Big rocket salvo away, break off and to the right. And he's still firing. Wow. Whoa, smoke plume out there in front of us. Downed aircraft, maybe. We heard some guys get hit on the way in. Maybe even one of the strike aircraft. That might be what we're looking at there. Whoa. Those are friendlies. That's Chevy 3 and 4 in formation just circling. Why aren't you guys attacking? There we go. Let's specify. Please get my specific target. There we go. So 3 and 4, again, loaded with all rockets. Maybe we can make multiple runs at this guy with rockets from multiple directions. He's still locked on me. There we go. Somebody's firing. And there goes mine. Woo! We got him, though. Oh, and 3 got his target, too. Oh, F-105 cutting right in close behind me. I'm always uncomfortable when they do that, but I think that's good. Hey, Chevy Flight, let's get it back together. Knock it off, let's get out of here. Because the strike flight is long gone. We've got a few targets, there's no need to hang out and risk it any longer, so heading back home now. Low altitude dash back into the mountains, and then eventually we'll pull back up to cruise altitude for the trip back home as we say goodbye to the Yankee power plant. Still got a couple of white phosphorus bombs left on the racks. We'll just bring those home. We'll make sure our air brakes are in, and they are. We're good to go. And there's waypoint 6, so now we're back on our way to 7, heading back towards Laos, and then eventually Thailand. Navigating through the peaks and valleys of the mountain range, up over the top. Looks like we got a clear run down the other side. Yeah, look at that huge valley on the far side. Down we go, and now we're pretty well shielded from the rear by the mountain range.
Red Crown, Kingfish, please. Casting, waypoint 7. Kingfish, 1. Red Crown, copy. I see them.
Full military power to cruising altitude of 35,000 feet for the ride back into Thailand. September 25th now, 1965, as we are taking off at 11:53 a.m. out of Tockley. Today's mission is to strike a strategic target located in Yanbai Airfield, attack and destroy the enemy generator building. So that's pretty funny, after discussing last mission how Yanbai Airfield has not even been constructed yet, or is just starting to be under construction here in 1965. It's nowhere near completion, and yet here we have assigned a strike mission into it to destroy this generator building. And that's to say nothing of the fact that we wouldn't be striking any airfields yet. This is far too early for airfield strikes. They were all, especially the ones around Hanoi, and this is included in that capital region, completely off limits. No MiGs on the ground. Well, no MiGs on the ground, but no MiGs with their wheels down. You couldn't attack them, and all of the air bases were off limits. And why was that? Well, because that's where all the Soviet technical advisors were. Unlike Korea, no Soviet pilots flew in Vietnam, in Vietnamese aircraft. But they were all around on the air bases, you know, helping out, advising, and actually Soviet personnel were directly in charge of many of the SA-2 sites. In fact, all of the SA-2 sites at first were all manned by Soviet personnel. And Washington's big fear at the time was that striking the the SAM sites or airfields would kill Soviet citizens, dragging the Soviet Union into the war, possibly escalating into full World War III. But here in the game, Yanbai is not only built, but we're also striking air bases. So, you know, we'll just go where they tell us, just like real life. We are Cowboy Flight today. Only 2 aircraft, which is a little unusual, but this is for pilot preservation reasons. I just wanted to give everyone a bit of a rest, and this hopefully won't be a mission where we need 4 full aircraft, but it's just me, Cowboy 2, which is Second Lieutenant Chuck Lamberry, and we're bringing in sort of the quintessential F-105 bomb load of M117 750-pound bombs. Once more, coming through the high mountain ranges of northwest Vietnam, crossing over Laos to get there. We probably have crossed over the border. That's probably North Vietnam down there. It's sort of a non-distinct border. There's nothing that sort of denotes the, physically denotes the line. And it's even harder to tell in this game because there's no real landmarks to sort of get your bearings from. Although I guess even in real life, navigating up here was difficult enough that the CIA actually ran a secret radio beacon station on a cliff face here in Laos. It was called Lima Site 85. It was a secret TACAN station right along the border between Laos and North Vietnam. In fact, it's sort of in this area. We might have gone right over it on the way in. It broadcast on Channel 97, and it was there specifically to guide Air Force bombers like us in and out of the targets. Lima Site 85 was serviced by Air America. That was one of their secret stops, flying supplies into this hillside. And it was the site where a defending Air America Huey helicopter shot down several AN-2 Colts with an AK-47. The North Vietnamese were aware of the site and attacked it several times with commandos, finally taking over the site and demolishing it in 1968. This valley looks a little familiar. I think this is where we came down last time, heading the other way. I think we ducked down over the top of this ridge. Whoop, there goes Lamberry. On the gas, pulling up and away. Got a little nervous about that ridgeline, I guess. There's the Red River. What is that? Shit, we got MiGs 12 o'clock high, moving right to... Oh! And off to our right too. Wow, pulling in right behind us. Alright, I am on the gas now as well. Lamberry's back behind me, diving back down into the valley towards the Red River. They're going to have to turn around. We're just on the power now. We're going to use the speed of the F-105 to get away from these guys. Especially if they're A models. If they don't have an afterburner, they won't keep up with us, but... F-105s are pretty quick, even at full military power. So yeah, we're just bumping 500 knots. That's our max speed. Okay, 12 miles out from the target now. We've got Fox 2 calls, so people are firing sidewinders at MiGs somewhere. There's Yanbai right off the nose. I can see it. We're going to start looking for that target, and I am going high. Let's trade some airspeed for altitude and go full power and try to keep these MiGs off of us. Also, we've got a decently low-hanging cloud cover here. Let's duck into those, and I think those will help us lose them as well. So up, up, up we go. Still at 450 knots, full afterburner. And I've put the target off to my nose to the left just a little bit. So let's get up here. Little hide and seek. Hey, Cowboy 2, attack my target. So Lamberry breaking off on his way in. We're 5 miles away from the target. I'm going to dump the drop tanks, and then I'm going to join him. There we go. Wing tanks gone. There's the asphalt pad where the generator building is. It's right there between the main apron and those cargo areas off to the left. Two's on his way in as we're winging over. Dropping out of the clouds now. We'll look for that 60 degrees down. Air brakes are out. And Lamberry's bombs are away. Yes, and we've got direct hits right through the area. I see him pulling away off to the right. I hear a VK-1 right behind me, so MiG's hot on our tail, coming down to 6,000 feet, bombs away. Right in the middle of that pad there, I'm pulling out very slow on the pullout, even as the brakes come in. We got way too slow on that dive. And I hear a MiG going off to my left, and we're just full power pulling out. Looks like I hit in the target area, but I don't know if I hit the primary target. Here's Yanbai, the city, passing underneath the nose as we whip it around, flak high and left. Huge plume of smoke coming from the generator building area. 2 is dropping more bombs somewhere. What's... Oh, I don't know where he's at. 2, break off, break off. I don't know what you're doing, buddy, but let's just go. If we missed it on the first pass, then we just missed it. Right over the top of the Red River, heading back to the south now. Treetop level. We've got MiGs in the area right on us. I don't know if we have friendlies. I don't want Lamberry cruising around and just attacking random things. So you know what? Let's see if we can get some help. Oh, nice. We're actually getting fighter cover vectored to us. Reserve fighters are coming to help us out. Great. So we're making our egress. Look at that. Giant plumes of smoke over there by that bridge and that city. So maybe another strike happening just over there. Still full power, up over 600 knots. We're clean now, other than the centerline ejector rack, which I'm going to bring back to base, because those were mission critical items at the time. And we've got some air combat right behind us. We've got some snakeskin MiG-17s with afterburners. One's going down, one just got picked up. Oh, and there goes the other one. Second one knocked down by friendly fighters. F4s likely. I think that was a missile that got him. Both detonating just south of Yanbai. Combat still going on behind us as I come off the burner down to cruise speed. You can see the Mach meter there dropping out of Mach 1.1 towards subsonic. There we go. Buffett comes back as we're back down out of the supersonic range. We still have 5,500 pounds of fuel, so plenty of fuel left. And taking a look at our target, we completely destroyed everything around the damn generator building. But the building remains. There's Lamberry's bomb craters walking right over the top of it. So we must have damaged it, but we did not take it out. Destroyed everything else that was on that asphalt pad. Nothing else remains, but we missed primary target. So that sucks. But at least we made it out with both aircraft and both pilots, and that's always a win in my book. Hey, welcome back to Talkly. September 27th now. Dallas flight. Today we're taking 4 F-105s up into the Lion's Den. That's right to Hanoi itself. Like last mission, we're again loaded with our 8 M117 750-pound bombs, which is going to give us a cruising altitude of 20,000 feet and a max speed of 500 knots. The target today is the VPAF Electrical Transformer Station, which is a pretty small but important target. It's a transformer building in the middle of high-tension power lines on the north side of Hanoi, so this is actually in Route Pack 6B, so the heavy-hitting Route Pack. Our approach is going to bring us right over the city of Hanoi itself. As we come in off the initial point to the south, we're going to be heading due north, right over the city, right over the Red River, at 5 miles, doing our pop-up bombing maneuver you know, right up over the top of the downtown area. So that's going to be interesting. Oh, and also, of course, as we're coming down, right on top of the Fujian Airbase, which is overflowing with MiGs. So many interesting factors in the mission today. And then once we make that strike, we'll be egressing out to the west.
Departure, Memphis fleet, flight airborne. Dallas, 1, departure, radar contact.
Coming over the Ma River as we get down to treetop level. The river's flowing down out of the mountains to our left. This river's pretty interesting because it begins in North Vietnam, flows through Thailand and Laos, and then comes back into Vietnam to flow out to our right towards Tan Hoa, and then it goes out into the Gulf of Tonkin from there. We're up at 500 knots now, so we're pushing our speed limit. This is about as fast as we're going to go. 17 miles out to the initial point still. Dallas flight is tucked in more or less behind me. I see Dallas too, a little behind there doing some weird stuff, but we're right over the ridge here, and I'm going to descend down into the plains on the far side, keeping it nice and low. Radar picking up massive air defenses out to our right near the city of Phu Lai. You can just see it off at our 1 o'clock there. 7 miles to go to the initial point. We're going to keep it fast and low to avoid these defenses, and we've got SAMs active today. Oh shit, and we've got some sort of nest of guns maybe directly in our flight path, just ahead of us here. I think I see him. And we have MiGs up. There we go, we just got their attention. Guns are opening up as we are right down at the treetops here. Ooh, just over 500 knots. Breaking our speed limit just a little bit. Right over the center of this nest as we hit waypoint 4, banking into waypoint 5. Now on the attack run proper. Maintaining 500 knots. More SAMs up in the air. Not good. There it is, right there, directly in front of us. We got a SAM site right in our path. We're gonna fly right over this bastard. And I just heard MiGs as well. We got the whole goddamn circus up today. Tanks are away. Let's clean it up for even more speed. Yeah, those MiGs are now behind us at 2 miles. Again, just try to keep our speed up. God, look at the radar. It's just so many air defenses. That SAM site somewhere just over here to our left. We're going to go right by it. Too low to be fired at. Oh, right there. I've got SAM launchers just down to my left. Whoa, and gun emplacement, a defensive emplacement on the SAM site. But there's a couple of rails. And then we're past it just like that as we're over the outskirts of the city. We're 8 miles out. I'm going to begin my climb right now. Alright, I've told Dallas to attack the ground and to attack my target. There's 10,000 feet. We are super steep this time, but I just want to get up and over the top of this. There's 300 knots. We're getting a little slow. And there's 14, almost 15. We're still 5 miles away from the target, though. I pulled up just a little bit early. Yeah, there's Fujian. We're actually not over the Red River just yet. Just a few more miles. Yeah, I pulled up too early. Should have waited. Now we're right in the SAM envelope, by the way. But here we go. Let's roll over, trying to identify that target. We're looking for power lines. Power lines. There they are. Oh, I see them. We're right in line. Brakes are out. There's our little chain link fence encampment. And there's bomb impacts from the wingmen. Right on target. And there's 6,000 feet bombs away as we begin the pullout. And it's a direct hit right into the compound. We've destroyed the transformer. And they are pissed. Jesus. Flak, tracers, SAMs are coming up. Luckily not at us, but that might change at a moment's notice. So mission accomplished, getting Dallas Flight back together. 16 miles to the egress point out over Viet Tree in front of us in the Red River. We'll get back out of here. Compound coming up right off the nose here. A single bandit? That might be worth pursuing. Looks like a factory complex, maybe. Zoom. Oh. Oh, friendly, so we got another F-105. That's one of Dallas Flight coming back in. Over Viet Tree now. We've got at least one MiG off to our left. Oh no, he's directly above us. That's a MiG. And we're high yo-yoing over the top of this MiG, over Viet Tree. He's turning back in. Oh, he's turning right back into me. And he's pointed right at me. Shit. Alright, this is literally... Like, I cannot... I cannot pull this F-105 any tighter through these turns. Oh, and he's firing as we dive for the ground. Pulling up and over the top. Let's try to get him low on speed, maybe. Oh, it's a J5 Fresco. Yeah, and he is right on us. Damn, I cannot escape this guy. Or I'm not going to be able to outmaneuver him, so I'm going to have to use speed to get away. Jesus Christ. He's firing, he's firing. Again, trying to use the proximity of the ground to discourage him. Oh, we go right through a flak nest, too. Tracer's going by the tail. In real life, the MiG drivers were very uncomfortable with the ground because the lack of hydraulic system meant that it was hard to pull out of dives. Oh, I hear the... I can hear the ricochet noises underneath and behind the aircraft. Just missing me. Okay, we're up over 550 knots now. Where the fuck are we? Oh, this is, I think... Is this Thud Ridge? This is Thud Ridge. I don't know how the hell we ended up here. But let's use it for masking. Let's go behind it and then make our exit. I think we outsped that guy. Sticking right to the slopes of the mountain here. We'll cut up and over the top. Fujian and Hanoi up that way. Viet Tree right in front of us. And we got friendlies back behind us and with us. But I only see one, so let's tell them to rejoin. Get the rest of Dallas flight together. I don't know where 3 and 4 are. I'm assuming that's 2. Although I don't know that for sure. Okay, friendly fighters are taking care of MiGs, but again, no idea where that is and if that's helping us. Right back down on the deck. Over the rooftops, Viet Tree, heading for the Red River. Tangled a little bit with the MiG. I guess I was a little overconfident from a couple of missions ago. That's a radar van. And there we go, over the river and through the woods. But yeah, I was a little overconfident from my MiG kill from a couple of days ago, and I thought I could mix it up with that J5, and he immediately pulled in right behind me and almost sawed my ass off. So, good to keep in mind. Little reminder about the maneuvering capabilities of the F-105. She's built for straight line speed, not for turning. Another MiG down as we're up over the top of this ridge. There's a village here. Wake up call. Staying nice and low, hugging the earth until we are very far away from Hanoi. What with all these SAMs flying up in the air as well. I'm thinking maybe over this next ridge of mountains we'll probably start the climb. Oh no! Wingman's been hit! Somebody's taking damage. At this point, just gotta keep going. Keep moving. I'm gonna start the climb up to 35,000. The good people at Republic make them tough. Look at this. Dallas 4 has been riddled with bullets from ground fire, I assume, as he passes over Viet Tree and the Red River. He is shot to hell, but he is still flying, the engine's still running, and as long as he doesn't have a hydraulic leak, because that was the F-105's Achilles heel, he should be able to bring it back. So we're continuing the climb, and as of right now, we're going to have 4 aircraft returning to base. Okay, 44 miles, wing leveler comes off, we pull the power back and begin our 300 knot descent back towards the airbase. There we go, there's idle power. As we cross 300, and we're just going to pitch for speed, holding the nose at 300 knots. With the 300 knot descent, we know that from 35,000 feet, it's going to take 43 nautical miles to get down to pattern altitude. From 20,000, it would be 26 nautical miles. Alright, back in Thailand, now coming out of the mountains over the plains. There's Tokli, just out to our front left. Dallas flight is in formation as the runway comes into view. We'll make our overflight and brake for landing. Here's 4 looking worse the wear, but successfully making it back to Tockley as I give them the order to brake and return home. And Dallas 1, I'm in the brake now as well. Coming around in the turn, bleeding off speed there, we're under 300. Coming around to the downwind. There's 250, so gear and flaps. Coming down for landing configuration. There's our shadow down there. And a bit of power as we come around on the downwind leg. And we've got the air brakes out and the engine spooled up, so we can maintain those high RPMs. Holding 200 knots as we're coming around into the base. Combined base and final leg. There we go. There's the center line. Now that we're not banking, we'll let the speed start coming down back towards 180 as we approach the numbers. The F-105 is coming into view in the alert pad off to the right. And we're down over the threshold. Idle power. A little rough, more of a Navy landing, but we made it. Safe and sound, one piece, all 4 aircraft, all our wingmen back with us today. That is going to do it for today's episode. 4 missions in the F-105, giving us a total so far, I believe, of 10, so we are now 1/10 of the way to our 100 in-country missions. Thanks for coming along with me today on this one. I hope you liked it. I hope you had fun, because that's what's important. This is a game, after all, and maybe even learned a little something. And that's always fun, for me at least, as well. So, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.